going on? God dang, how we doing? All right, your boy is finally back from his impromptu hiatus, and well, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot better. I appreciate all the kind words that you guys sent to me, you know, checking up with me and whatnot. And once again, I know I literally made an apology video and just ghosted on you guys, so I apologize. But don't worry, we are back, feeling better than ever, rejuvenated, re-energized, and you know, we just about to make some more hits. Man, it feels so good to be back. And guys, my computer is finally fixed. All right, beat critiques are coming soon. Don't worry, I didn't forget about those. They are coming soon, 100%. So stay tuned. All right, I want y'all to stay tuned for that. So today we're just gonna do a melody tutorial. So let's get started. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And let's get my computer. Let's just do this. I'm tired of talking. All right, so as you can tell on my computer, we have Omnisphere opened up and we got a sampler channel loaded up. So real quick, we're just gonna go to the sampler channel first, the piano roll for the sampler channel. So as you can tell, nothing's playing because it is a sampler channel. All right, so first thing I like to do is choose a scale. So if you're having trouble starting a melody or figuring out how to do melodies, first thing I like to do is do this little method I like to do. I learned it a while ago. I always say to do this, but we're just gonna go ahead and choose a major scale. Just any, you could literally choose any scale. Majors for like happy melodies. I think Aeolian also does some happy melodies. I could be wrong, I don't know. The Phrygian scale does like, Phrygian and Arabic have like darkerish melodies, and yeah, I don't know what else. But yeah, we're just gonna do the this one, the major thing. Now I'm just gonna choose a bass note, so it doesn't really matter. So you just, let's do F sharp, why not? Let's start with F sharp. I'm just gonna copy these just so I can get a reference for later use, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. I'm just gonna copy these to F sharp. I don't need to go this low. I don't know why I'm doing that, but whatever. Yeah, let's just do that, F sharp. All right, cool. So we got F sharp. I'm gonna bring these out real quick. Okay. Actually, let's do that. All right. So here's our like reference sampler channel thing. So now I'm just gonna go to the Omnisphere one. So I could literally just do this. I don't feel like do the other stuff. So here you can tell this is Omnisphere. So yeah. All right. So you probably already know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. So when you're, you know, using this technique of using the sampler channel to help you with the scale using the ghost notes, all you gotta do now is just use the notes that are on the ghost notes. So what I mean by that is every highlighted note you see here, which is a ghost note, if you don't know what a ghost note is, there are these things, the highlighted ones. Yeah, use those to help you. If you're not making, or if you don't know how to make a melody, just like hit random stuff, honestly, until something sounds nice. That's really all I gotta say. Like there's no technique. I mean, you could do the technique where, you know, you skip every other ghost note or whatever, but you're not gonna learn unless you play around with it. Pause. Unless you know, experiment. You need to experiment for yourself. I mean, I know a lot of people want to see shortcuts and stuff on how to make melodies and that. I mean, this is kind of a shortcut, but like, you just gotta play around with this. So I'm just gonna make a random melody using random notes that I hear in my head. Honestly, it sounds weird, but I mean, when you're making a melody, think of something in your head, try and replicate it on the DAW. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So let's just do that. So I'm just gonna carefully place notes down. and another thing, I mean, sometimes in the scale you can go out of the scale and like use those notes as well. I'm probably gonna do that just because, like, yeah, I hate staying in one scale and limiting myself, so we're just gonna, yeah. And you know what, let me not do that. Just for the sake of the tutorial, I'll just try and stay in the scale. Alright, so sorry. We got a nice simple melody here, nothing too crazy. I didn't want to make it too crazy yet. So all I did was, you know, use the ghost notes. Now I know, I see it too. We went outside of the scale. Alright, relax, chill out, okay? I know. There's C, I see, you see the C. It's not a ghost note. You're like, why? Why you do this? Explain it to me. Well, good question. I think I was saying earlier, yeah, sometimes there are indeed notes that do sound good outside of the scale that you choose. Remember, this is the major scale that I chose, so C is in the major scale because it is a white key, so that is probably why it sounds good with the melody that I chose. So, yeah, I think that's why. I'm pretty sure that's why. I don't, whatever. Yeah, so that's why that does that. And, oh wait, let me just play it. So yeah, there you go. It's nice and simple. So now the next thing we're gonna do is add a bass line to the melody. All that is just notes or long notes in the octave below the current melody, or in an octave below the current melody that you're using. So like any of these octaves below 5, you could use like bass notes. So I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. It's just long notes that just support the melody. So that's all it is. Let's try that. Alright, so I added my nice little, you know what I'm saying, bass melody. As you can see here, the long notes in the octave below my current melody. So, yeah, all I did was literally, once again, use the same techniques, listening with my, to what I have, whatever melody is going through my head, or whatever bassline melody is going through my head, put it on the canvas, piano roll, and I just did that. And of course, like I said again, I used a few more of those in the scale, the highlighted scale that we have, or whatever. I used some of those notes. Once again, G is also in the major scale, so that's why it's gonna sound nice in this melody, because we're using the major scale to help us. So yeah, one more thing I like to do with my melodies to make them pop a bit more, if you will, is I like to add stuff above the main melody. So the main melody, or the first melody, I'm just gonna call it the main melody just because it's the first one of these that we started with. So this is the main melody. This is the one that we did, the one with the little, you know, little notes or whatever. So what we're gonna do is hold down hold down shift, and then click and drag until they duplicate themselves. Then we're just gonna do control and then up on the arrow key. And we're gonna make it sound, we're just gonna do this. So, I mean, you could leave it like this and it's gonna sound, I would assume, pretty nice. So here. Or you can make it sound a little less boring by holding down Alt on your keyboard, using this arrow thing so that it snaps instead of freely, you know, resizing and whatnot. So you can use that, shorten it by half so that it plays faster than the original, and then I'm probably just gonna duplicate this just so that it, you know, fits the whole thing. And we're just gonna play with the actually, you know, I'm gonna show you, before I do anything else, I'm gonna show you what it sounds like. So here's what it sounds like. Alright, so now, there's a lot going on in that, obviously. So what we can do to combat that, like the high activity of that melody, we can do two things. One, my favorite, my preferred option, we can use girls beat. You know, use half speed, make it sound, you know what I'm saying, nice and whatnot, which I'm probably gonna do later just because I'm curious to see what that sounds like. But we can do that, or we could also, where is it? I mean, we can also play with the velocity. So, I mean, there's a tool, I forget the Alright, well, I couldn't find the tool or whatever, so I'm just gonna manually do it. So, what I like to do when there's a lot of like high-pitched stuff, I like to just turn it down with the velocity. So I'm just gonna randomly just make my velocity, you know, nice and whatnot, and see what I can come up with. I'm just gonna randomly, you know, play around with it, doesn't matter, pause. Let's just do that. So yeah, that's what we can do. We just play around the velocity. As you can tell, it, you know, makes it less intense, and it makes it give off more of like a less of a busy vibe. So it doesn't sound like there's too much going on in the melody, but there is, but it's just that you can't really hear it. So it sounds nice, but it's still busy and it's still complex. There you go. You're welcome. Another thing that I'm gonna do is, you know what, forget it, I'm not doing that manually. All right, we're just gonna delete this. Let's just delete that. Now, let's select these, the main melody again, we're gonna select. Then we're gonna use control, and then we're gonna drag this. And we're gonna do kind of the same thing, but then instead of shifting it up in the exact same spot, we're gonna shift the notes over to the right. Just one spot to the right, and then shift it up an octave. And now we do something very, very interesting. So here's what that sounds like. So yeah, I mean, like when you do that, I think I saw like another producer on YouTube do it, and it was like, when I first saw it, I'm like, whoa, that's, I like that a lot. So I stole it. But yeah, there's that. I don't know I don't know how to describe it really. It just like plays it kind of offset-ish, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, it gives that like a really nice bounce when you do that. So all I did was like literally clone it, shift it over, move it up an octave. All right, there's this one last thing that I found I stumbled upon just now. It's called the claw machine. I don't really see that many producers use it. I have never used it before. I literally just saw it and I used it and I'm like, this is kind of cool. If I play around with this, might be, you know, whatever. So there's this thing called the claw machine. It's Alt W's the thing, or you can just go to the tools thing and whatever. And I don't know what it does, but it like messes around with the notes that you highlight, and then like it alters them and like the time in which they're played. But like here's what happens when I just leave it on the default settings. So this is what it sounds like. So yeah, it does that, I mean, there's also other settings that you could use. So I don't know why that thing's over there. There's also other settings you could use. So like, there's like you could change period 2 beats. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. You can change the time distance. yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So you can play around with that and see whatever you can come up with. I don't know how to use that at all. So I mean, you know, you can make a tutorial on it if you want. Yeah, that is it. That is my video, my first video out of my hiatus. I'm feeling good, feeling great. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this taught you something. You know what I'm saying? I, of course, tried to talk more, tried to explain more of, like, you know, some techniques on how to make more melodies. If you know what I'm saying, don't understand something, or have any suggestions on how I could have made this video better, leave comments, you know, suggestions in the comment section. I'm reading them all the time. I know I haven't replied to any comments for the past week, but you know, we're back on it, all right? We're back on it, all right? So, yeah, the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, I know I said that like 3 billion times, but yeah. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. And peace.